Hi there, I'm Kat Corbett. I'm at KROQ in Los Angeles, and Florence Welch decided to make a nice stop here at KROQ.
Hello.
So you're here for the new album. It's called How Big, How Beautiful?
How big, how blue, how beautiful.
How big, how blue, how beautiful. And what does the title signify to you? Like, what does that mean to you?
I think that was one of the very first songs that I wrote for this. I was in LA, and it kind of the skies here are so different to like anything that we have in London. You know, they're just enormous and they go on forever. And in some ways that can be incredibly hopeful, and like in some ways it can make you feel incredibly exposed. So there's like a happiness and a sadness to it. And I was just thinking about the LA sky. And then the rest of the album kind of came along, and there were songs on there that were kind of, you know, more troubled and more. You know, you have a year and you have like, it was a year of like serious like highs and lows, I think, and so the album sort of reflects that. And I think I didn't know whether to call it something that would signify a high or a low, and I was going to call it something else that was quite like, because you know sometimes there's a lot on here about things just being like out of reach and like really striving for something, and that kind of feeling of like looking, and there's some moments on it that are like quite desperate, but actually so I thought about calling it something that had like more of that was darker, I guess. There's a Greek myth that Tantalus was put into a pool of water that he was punished by the gods.
Oh, I do know that
one. So that every time he would bend down, the water would recede, and there was some grapes above him, and every time he looked up, the grapes would be pulled away. So this idea that something was always just beyond your reach. And I kind of had been...
Yeah, that stresses me out just thinking about it.
And then it
right?
kind of like, so I was thinking about that, and actually like, then I was kind of listening to the whole record, and I was like, actually it's not like, you felt like you got it. Like the thing that you wanted, you got. You just didn't realize it. And then it takes you all the way back to the beginning. And so and I was like, I think How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful should be the title. And that opened the whole record out for me, because there's just so much hope in that phrase. And that is kind of how I feel about the world, you know.
Let's talk about the first single, and you said you were in Mexico shooting the video.
Yes. We were in a place called Merida, and I mean, it was just incredible. We went to these Mexican cenotes, and you know, it was just like the most like the light there and the landscape. We went to all these like old ruins. So it was you know, and then the kind of, in Mayan tradition, the cenote is a kind of gateway to the underworld, and then I kind of was sort of baptized there, and that, you know, it was a very...
Are you doing the whole falling back in the water baptized, or is this some more?
Well, we kind of went to there's a baptism that happens.
Ooh, okay.
But what kind? I'm not
All
sure
right,
yet.
we'll wait and see. It's out today, so we'll be getting on there.
But yeah, it was a really like incredibly beautiful place to shoot, and the Yucatan is just unbelievable, and it's an amazingly sort of spiritual place too. So it was a really like, after finishing the record, which is such a like insular thing, and it's very like you're in a cave of like your own kind of mind, and you're just kind of pouring things into this black hole, and then to kind of, it was so amazing to go to somewhere that was like, you know, the juxtaposition and that was so
wide open.
Just completely open.
Tell me about your studio dad.
Studio dad.
Marcus. Let's give him some props.
I love Marcus so much.
So tell me about him.
He's amazing. Like, because it was so funny. This record was like in parts like I'd come out and do some like writing in LA, and I'd be here, and it'd kind of be. It'd be a bit more glamorous, and there'd be like, you know, I'd be like in sort of nice outfits and like kind of floating around, and then I'd go back to England, and it would be like bicycle, packed lunch, the rain, Marcus. But it was actually the schedule that was really good for me. It was like
he like set down like, you need to be here, you need to be...
No, it wasn't actually like...
You need your bus money, you need your...
He was obsessed with whether I had lights on my bike. He would constantly give me jumpers. I lived in one of his jumpers, so basically the whole of the record, and he would bring me socks, because he was worried about whether I was cold all the time. I mean, he's basically like... Because I was a little bit like... You know, I didn't arrive to the start of us making the record in the best shape. I don't think he quite knew what he'd got himself in for. You know, after my slight year of like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh no.
I arrived to make the record just like, So help.
Now we should say that Marcus has produced like Mumford and Sons and like award-winning records.
He did at the beginning refuse to be agony aunt. There was a very like strict like, you're gonna come in, you're gonna work. This isn't like agony aunt place. Like what? But then
you needed somebody to kind of be that person.
So
right?
much, like so much. Otherwise, it'd just been me like. No, never get anything done.
It'd be like 10 years from now, the new record's not out.
But he was amazing, and it really like, and that's kind of what was so magic about the record process in itself, is that it really just like, the kind of, I think, it's like what I was saying about something being out of reach, and you didn't realize you kind of found it in the end through the work and through the process of it. You sort of you come back to yourself in a way, and that was so. For him, he kind of like really like guided me through it, and was just such a like stable and amazing figure, and so like kind and calm.
He brought you socks.
He brought me socks.
Can we clone him so we can date him?
Got me lights for my bicycle, because I'm such a like, honestly, everyone just get lights. Don't be like me. I was a terribly dangerous cyclist.
Don't ride around Los Angeles, please.
No.
It's an awful place to ride a bike.
But that's what I miss about. I miss my bike.
Okay. New song. I miss my bike.
I miss my bike.
There you go.
Sid Barrett actually has a song about a bicycle.
I want to talk about, you were talking about wearing fancy clothes and stuff, and one of the things that me and all my gal pals always love when we see you is you're always dressed in something that we want to steal. And whether it's on stage or just like right now, you just showed up.
I wore one of Marcus's jumpers, like dad jumpers with a whole makeup. Like,
I know, but you have like these like insane dresses, and I was like, why is it, is somewhere down the line maybe a Florence fashion line ever an idea that may happen?
Do people want paisley waistcoats?
I don't know. You just look amazing. Like even in those old school Hollywood dresses, I'm like, is she finding these at vintage stores or is someone designing them?
That's what's so nice about traveling. I have actually, but weirdly, I've been kind of doing little. I have an amazing like friend, and he makes like really amazing pieces. So I've been doing little drawings, and he's been making me like these
lucky duck.
Incredible. Like, but basically it's like, I want a shirt, but the sleeves have to go down to here. He's like, you sure you want them even? Yeah, even bigger.
Like so you're already designing.
The bell sleeves, but I haven't I think it's quite specific, and I don't know if it would like. Does everyone like?
I think we can get a holla from everybody here, from the girls. That would be a definite.
That's been really fun, but again, like, is the market there for like?
Yes.
Wait, maybe.
I'm telling you, yes.
Okay, so I'm thinking like paisley waistcoat and like frock coats. So people, that's kind of what I've been
sign me up.
Designing. Basically, does people want to look like a Renaissance pirate?
Renaissance pirate? Yes. Hell yes. There's your fashion label. Renaissance pirate by Florence Welch. I want to ask you, and I don't even know if by the time this comes out, if it will be out there, but there's been dropped into the media a Rihanna song using part of your song.
Yeah. Yes.
Can you dish any more on that, or?
I was so thrilled because I'm such a huge fan, and I actually bumped into her like the other day.
You just bumped into Rihanna.
I bumped into her, and she was wearing this amazing like sparkly coat. She just looked so beautiful, and we had like, because we she'd sent me the song, and I'd said like of course, but we'd never actually managed to like speak. I mean, we've met before, but we'd never managed to like speak in person about it. And so we were just like, and we were both really happy. Yeah, we got to like hug it out, and it's really exciting.
So is it a sample of your song, or did you actually do a vocal for a song?
It's a sample.
Okay.
I don't know how much. I don't want to like and then I told everything about the song Rihanna.
I know. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I think it's a sample, and but yeah, it's one of my favorite songs from ceremonials, and I love it when stuff like that happens, when the music gets to like, when people reimagine your music. I love that when it has a different, it has all these different forms.
And it just breaks genre. It's nice that the worlds are coming together. So you're making your return to Coachella. Yes. It's been 3 years. Has that been? I think it is 3 years.
3 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
I went last year though. I mean, I just went. I didn't like do.
You were just hanging out.
I just hang out. It was really fun.
But you sent a tweet like yesterday or the day before, or maybe a couple days ago, but you said the first time you went to Coachella, you didn't have a place to stay.
Yes.
And you stayed on somebody's porch. Was
I
this
slept
before you
on
played?
a lilo on somebody's
What's a
balcony.
lilo?
And a blow up like thing that goes on swimming pools.
Okay, but this wasn't when you had started playing Coachella.
I hadn't. That was the year before I then played it. I went with my boyfriend at the time, and it was the first time I ever came to LA, and things with Florence the Machine were literally just kind of kicking off. I don't think I'd even finished the first record yet, or maybe, but we were like, do you want to come to Coachella? We're two British people. Like when we got to LA, we were like, we're going to go have breakfast. Walked for miles, and it's like, where is everything? And then we went to Coachella, and I was like, I'll give you a ride. We're like, yeah, we'll go to Coachella. We got no car, so I was like,
wow, you guys
they were like,
really
you can come
it.
and stay in our condo. I was like, because I don't know what a condo is. I was like, a condo, that's like a big house, right? We arrived, and it was like, it was so cute, but it was like this tiny, it was a condo, it's like a tiny apartment, and there were 8 other people like sleeping in it.
That's Coachella.
8 other, there was someone sleeping on the breakfast nook. And then me and Stuart slept on the balcony in a lilac, but it was fun. I had a great time.
And then
we couldn't drive anywhere. Like we literally we'd be at Coachella, we'd be like, I don't know what to do now. Where's everybody going?
Oh my God.
Should we go back to our we were sleeping on a lilo and living off those taco chips.
Oh my
and but it was really fun.
It was a total. Then the next year you played Coachella.
I saw Crystal Castles that year, and they were so good. They were amazing.
I'm sad they kind of dispersed.
Have they?
Yeah, the girl left the band.
I'm such a fan. That was fun. I still remember it. It was incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, we basically just stranded ourselves at Coachella. We had no
I love that was your first. You went to Coachella before you ever played, and then of course when you returned, it was a completely different experience.
It was like,
you were not sleeping.
Well, we had a car.
You weren't trapped.
And I didn't have to sleep on a lilo. I had a bed.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Now, I only have one more question for you, and this may seem a little off, but it's just a personal thing to me. Florence, I've seen you play many times, and you're always barefoot.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
I have a problem with bare feet.
Do you not like feet?
Not touching me, no.
I won't touch you with them. I'm on the stage. I can't reach that far.
I know that, but I'm like,
but it's gonna
every
be,
time I see you, I'm like, God damn it, why is Flo and bare feet again? Doesn't she know what's been on that stage?
Do you know what's so weird is that I've never injured myself on my feet on stage ever, and I walk. It's only ever off stage once. There's like some kind of alchemy happens on stage where it's almost like you're in this protective bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've never hurt my feet, touch wood, on stage, because I move around so much, and I don't feel like it's better to be grounded on the stage.
Feel
yeah, I want to feel.
Okay, I can understand.
And shoes they almost get in the way.
Okay.
But I was doing a gig, and it was the gig went well. I was at bare feet, ran off the stage, and I ran. As soon as I stepped 1 foot off the stage, I went straight into a nail. That went and Rob, our guitarist, had to carry me on for and it was an encore. We had 2 songs left to go. He had to carry me on stage, and I just had this bleeding foot. But I'm basically always. I'm quite accident prone, really. I mean, we've got
Oh yeah,
because I'm quite active and also gangly, so it just doesn't. The two don't really go together.
All right,
moving around quickly with slightly less control of your limbs equals quite a lot.
I had to ask that question because anybody who knows me knows that I love you, and also knows I've tweeted, God damn it, in her bare feet again. And they're like, if you ever get to talk to Florence, you need to
I'm
ask
wearing
her.
shoes now.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
So we can talk.
I know. I just want to wrap up by saying, I'm really looking forward to hearing the whole album. And I love the fact that you're so happy. You're just so happy. You're ready to go. And that's very nice to see. So
no, it feels because the album, it feels like you really go through something, and you have to go into that hole, and you have to go to the really, there are some dark places, and I think once you kind of see the whole thing and you realize what it is that you were doing, it's oh, okay, I can go out there now.
Can enjoy
and there's
it.
almost like a sort of freedom in that. It's really, it's quite an exciting time.
Good. Oh, well, thanks for coming to KROQ.
Thanks for having me.
I'm excited.